Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Plus Model Radio, the #1 podcast for plus-size women. I'm your host, Chenese Lewis. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2009. Thank you to everyone that helped make the Curvy All-Star Weekend in New York a success. Special thanks to Curvicity Entertainment and Monique C. Friday night, we had a good time in Stitch Lounge. I got to meet a lot of people that I've talked to online for years, but never had the opportunity to meet in person. Then Saturday, we hung out with Monique C. at her showroom and did some good shopping, networking, and socializing. Then Sunday, I walked with the Plus Model Magazine team in the Walk MS, and we walked 3 miles to raise money for the cause, and we had a ball. You can see the pics and read all the details of our fun weekend in the May edition of Plus Model Magazine coming out this Friday. As always, I've got a great show for you today. Coming up later on the show will be Deborah Gregory, fashion designer Sue Rock, and up first is Golda Poretsky. She's going to have to tell me how to pronounce her name correctly. But right after this break, Golda is up first.
All my sexy, beautiful, and curvaceous ladies, sizes 12 to 26, listen up. I have something exciting just for you. Get ready for the Curve Appeal Beauty and Fashion Convention. I'm Joyce Littell, and I'll be hosting an all-day affair featuring fashion shows, workshops, beauty, fashion, and health vendors, dance lessons, comedians, entertainment, and more. This is for the bold, the beautiful, grown, and sexy, independent, and confident ladies. It's going down Saturday, May 9th at the Georgia International Convention Center. Plus, after the show, it's the after party, baby. Tickets are $10 in advance and $15 at the door. Hey, fellas, you are invited too, so you don't want to miss this. Curve Appeal, Beauty, and Fashion Convention, May 9th at the Georgia International Convention Center. For more information, visit ProjectCurveAppeal.com.
All right, up first on the show today is Golda Poretsky. After spending nearly her entire life dieting, Golda decided in 2007 to stop dieting and start listening to her body. In 2008, she founded Body Love Wellness, incorporating her knowledge of holistic health with her belief that health and body love and acceptance are possible at every size. She now counsels women and men on how to get off the dieting roller coaster, give their bodies what they really crave, and love their bodies and themselves. In addition to her work counseling women and men throughout the country, Golda teaches workshops on healthy eating without dieting, intuitive eating, and radical body love. She is also a featured weekly columnist on the new website, More of Me to Love, and has her own Body Love Wellness blog. Let's welcome Golda to the show.
Hi, Chenese. I'm so happy to be here.
Did I do your name justice halfway?
Perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the show this evening. So tell us about growing up and all the diets you tried and what made you change.
Well, I had pretty much been on diets since the age of 4. Been on so many different ones, and calorie restriction, diet pills, Weight Watchers, OA, everything. And I just came to the conclusion a few years ago, as I was still on a diet, I had lost weight, it was coming back on, and I started to realize that, this is just silly, that I'm just spending my life on this roller coaster, this pattern of losing weight, gaining it back, and I wasn't happy. So when I did that, when I realized that, I started to read up on it. I started to read a lot of great authors, like Paul Campos of The Obesity Myth, and there are lots of great blogs out there and fat acceptance blogs. And I started to realize, wow, it's not just me. And there was a community out there for me.
So in 2008, you found Body Love Wellness. Now tell us about your company.
Well, Body Love Wellness is really my passion. I am a holistic health counselor, and I graduated from the Institute of Integrated Nutrition in 2006, but I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do with it. I was just doing sort of a general practice, and I put that together with everything that I learned about loving my body and intuitive eating, and put that together into this practice that I call Body Love Wellness. And I named my health counseling practice that because I think that people put so much stress on themselves in terms of how their bodies should look, and I feel like it also contributes to a lot of people really playing small in their lives and not really going for what they want because they don't feel good about themselves. And so that's why I really wanted to focus what I did on helping people learn sort of just healthy eating without the dieting dogma that we keep having instilled in us, and learning to connect with themselves. So connecting through also intuitive eating, just getting in touch with levels of hunger and fullness, and then just changing the way we think about our bodies, changing that through changing our mindsets and changing our relationships to our body through just feeling in our body more.
So in your bio, one of the things you teach is radical body love. Now, what is radical body love?
Well, I call it that partially because I think that really loving your body is sort of radical for a lot of people. And I'm part of I totally believe in the body acceptance, fat acceptance movement. I think it's really important, and I am so happy to be a part of that movement. But I sort of thought, would you rather be accepted or would you rather be loved? So I just, I want people to go, at least individuals, to go beyond accepting themselves as they are, to loving themselves as they are.
So besides radical body love, another thing you teach is holistic health. So tell us a little more about that.
Sure. Holistic health is really just about looking at the whole person when dealing with symptoms that come up. So, whereas in Western medicine, very often if you have a cough, they give you either a cough suppressant or, an antibiotic if they think it's a virus. And a holistic person, a holistic healer would look not only and say, okay, does this person have a virus, and can we treat that, but how's their immune system overall, what's their emotional state like, what's their, what are their typical thoughts in a day, how is, what's their liver doing, is that contributing to the cough? So holistic health is just really about looking at the whole person, and I've felt very strongly that that is the way health practitioners should be going toward healing their clients.
So with your workshops and what you teach, we tend to think about body image as something exclusively for women that have a problem with it. I know I'm guilty of that. But tell us about some of the male issues and the men that come to the workshop.
Well, it's funny. I mainly get women. I will be honest, but my work is really open to men too. And for my male clients, I have seen, they have their own body image issues too about being toned, being their height, their hair, everything. I mean, there's so many issues, and I think it's also because more and more men are being marketed to in a way that women used to only be marketed to, in terms of use this body spray and it'll make you attractive, or I think that they're getting those messages more and more than they used to.
Right.
So I'm seeing it with male clients too, but I honestly, most of my clients are women. Yeah.
So in your workshops and the things you teach, you have tips about how to get off the diet roller coaster. So can you give our listeners a few tips on how to start this process?
Absolutely, sure. I will say, first of all, just stop dieting.
Well, I know they can't be easy if you.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's not absolutely. I'm making light of it, but the first thing is to really decide that you don't want to do it anymore. And I do have on my blog, I have a list of 16 reasons not to diet. One for every, for the 16 sizes for the average size woman is a 16. So I have 16 reasons. So sometimes it's just a matter of having some knowledge about why dieting is not working. I would say a couple of other things is start adding in foods that feel good to you. So if you're feeling like you need more greens, or you're feeling like, oh, I want to try some more whole foods and adding those in, I always say, add in good stuff before you try to take away quote unquote bad stuff. Adding in more things you like. Working with checking in with yourself about hunger and fullness, and just say, okay, am I hungry? And then at some point, while you're eating, say, okay, am I full? And being okay with the answer, not judging the answer. So to say, if you really are still hungry, to have more. And if you're really full, to say, okay, I'm full, I'm going to stop now. And just to start that process of listening to yourself and being okay with what you hear.
So with including more healthy foods in your diet, usually eating healthy is more expensive. And so now we're in a recession. So what tips can you give to eat healthy on a budget?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll say a couple of things. The more home cooking you do, I find that it's cheaper. So if you go and buy those ingredients, like if you try to incorporate more organic food, if you want to do that, to just focus more on home cooking, I find that really helps me when I want to save money, which is often.
Yeah, 'cause anything in the frozen section is more expensive.
Yeah, it's really true. So focus more on cooking your own things. And I think that also, a lot of us, if we don't think of ourselves as good cooks, we assume that everything's really hard to do and complicated. And it can be much more simple. So actually, if anyone's looking, they can email me and I can email some recipes and just to make things easy. And again, pay attention to your hunger and fullness, because say you're out somewhere and you might not be, say you normally order an appetizer and an entree, but maybe that day you're not as hungry. So pay attention to that and don't feel like you have to order what you usually order, because I think sometimes that can help. And also, there are things like food co-ops and CSAs. There's different ways of sort of giving back and then getting a big discount. Like I know in Brooklyn there's a great food co-op, and if you work there like 2 hours a week or something, you get a huge discount on food. So that's just something.
What do you mean, a food co-op? Like you go work at a grocery store?
It's kind of like a grocery store, and you work there, and so it can be any number of tasks, stocking things or.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. There isn't one where I live, but I know people who are members of the Brooklyn one, and they love it. They love the food that they get from there, and it's a nice community thing. It's a nice way of, meeting people in your community. Yeah.
Okay, so another thing you do is you write for a blog called More of Me to Love, not to be confused with the More to Love show coming out on Fox. It's More of Me to Love. So tell us a little more about this website and what you do with it.
Well, this website is really the brainchild of a guy named Jay Solomon, who just wanted to create a community for people who were bigger and were going to feel good about it, and a way to connect with one another. There's a store on there. There's a forum where you can ask questions, and I answer questions along with some other bloggers. So he read my blog on Blogger, and he really liked it, so he asked me to write for the site. So I have a weekly column there. along with some other writers. There's a gentleman who writes about exercise and ways of just, moving your body without going to the gym and everything like that.
Now, is this website especially for plus-size people, or is it just for everybody?
It's really for plus-size people, but absolutely, I believe that anybody can join. As long as it's a very size-positive, health at every size site. So I think if you're in that mindset, then it's a great thing to join. It's a free membership, and it's a lot of fun, definitely.
And so, anything else coming up we can be on the lookout for?
I definitely am going to be teaching more workshops. I'd like to do some teleclasses because I actually have clients all over the country, and so they can't come to my workshops in New York City. So I'd probably be setting up some teleclasses where people can call in and be in the class. And also, I just to put this out there, I do private sessions. That's most of my work. And I always do a free initial session. So if anything is sounding interesting, I really want to encourage people to call me, email me, have your initial free session and see if it's something that you're into.
And didn't you recently do classes at Redress?
Yes, I did classes at Redress NYC, which is a really awesome plus-size vintage store. It's really so cool. And I actually will probably be doing like a monthly group or workshop there. I'm working out the details. But, it's a great store. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you did something like that at Redress, so plus-size organizations that's listening that do big events, you are somebody that could come out and do a workshop in any area, in any location about nutrition or what have you.
I would love that. Yeah, I definitely would love to do workshops everywhere. So right now, New York, hopefully soon enough elsewhere too. Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us your official website and how can we get in contact you for bookings.
Okay, well, my website is bodylovewellness.com. So that's www.bodylovewellness.com. I also can be reached at bodylovewellness@yahoo.com, and you can contact me through the website. You can email me. You can call me, I think that.
And you're
I think that's a good way to get in touch with me.
And you're on Facebook, and are you on
Yes.
MySpace?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. I'm on MySpace. I have a group on Facebook, too. Oh, yeah, and I totally want to encourage people to friend me on Facebook. That's totally fine. You can contact me that way, too. So, and again, my name is Golda Poretsky, Porettsky. So feel free to friend me on there or to look up Body Love Wellness on there, and I'll keep you apprised of events and classes and things like that.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Calling all curvy girls, size 12 plus. Curvy Girl Clothing has just opened a retail store here in Portland at 5240 Northeast 42nd Avenue, minutes from Lloyd Center. Curvy Girl Clothing offers sexy, trendy, plus-size styles where you could flaunt your feminine curves for a fraction of mall prices. Come check out their huge selection of dresses and shrugs and look hotter than ever this holiday season. Visit CurvyGirlClothing.com or call 503-889-8800 or stop by 5240 Northeast 42nd Avenue in Portland. New styles arrive weekly. Shop Curvy Girl Clothing today and bring out the bombshell in you.
Our next guest on the show this evening is Sue Rock, a textile artist of over 20 years. Susan and Jerome Rock are the designers behind Sue Rock Originals. They are the first designers to develop a manufacturing arrangement with Rwanda Knits, a machine knitter cooperative in Rwanda. In the fall of 2008, working with some of New York's best knitters and crocheters, Sue Rock Originals launched their line of accessories in stores on Brooklyn's Fifth Avenue. Their tailored selections are made from 100% reclaimed fabrics. The fashion and interior design industries discard tons of fabric per year. Sue Rock Original uses these fabrics to create beautiful tailored garments for women of all ages. Flipping the fashion script, their apparel line is actually the funding engine for their not-for-profit Sue Rock Originals Everyone Incorporated. Sue Rock Originals Everyone is the first textile charity committing to supporting the lives of domestic violence survivors. Sue Rock partners volunteers with raw materials to create new clothing for families who have chosen to leave the cycle of violence. For 4 years, they have donated over 2,000 items to residents held by Safe Horizon, Sanctuary for Families, and Center Against Domestic Violence. Let's give a warm welcome to Sue Rock.
Hey, Chenese.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, girl. How'd you like New York?
I love New York. I'm glad the weather was good while I was there.
It was. It was crying. It was pouring after you left. You see that, right?
Yes, I'm glad I left and missed the rain.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Yes, well, thanks for being on the show. So tell us about your background in the fashion industry.
Well, it really has been quite recent. My husband and I both had diverse backgrounds. Myself, I'm a vocalist and performer. He was more in culinary and hospitalities. And in looking at a way to make an industry for ourselves, many people were getting into design. He had the background. I had more of the knitwear background and thought, well, maybe this might be a way to change things up. This was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we found a resource in Reclaim Fabrics here in New York. It's the center of the fashion industry, the center of the interior design industry, anything with textiles. And as you shared with folks, these things are discarded every single day as a matter of course. You know, just as people are going through the season, certain florals are chosen, certain ones aren't, but they still have to order the same quantity. So we had this beautiful resource that came in. Well, Chenese, it became so full and so plentiful, we thought it would be wise to give back. And from that came the nonprofit experience of creating something for survivors of domestic violence, working with the creative talent of folks who love to knit, who love to crochet, and basically can't stop. So we figured it was a win-win. If folks are leaving and they're just wearing what any of us has on right now, listening to the radio, I know that women and men who knit and crochet and sew could knock out something in a weekend that would be flawless and phenomenal. And it's been successful all the way through.
And I have a hidden talent. I know how to crochet. My grandmother taught me.
You see what I'm talking about. It's fantastic. And it has rich memories to it, too, which is beautiful.
Right. So what gave you the idea to work with a manufacturer in Rwanda?
There was a woman I spoke with who was from Chicago, who was a marketing person for Crocheter. She worked with Double Stitch. And when I spoke with her to get some insight and feedback as to how to very early on, she had suggested that rather than really launch something big, I should look at how these items were going to get made. And I had found out and discovered that there was a wonderful thing called a knitters cooperative in which business people are traveling around the world and helping develop small communities to have an economic enterprise that will support themselves. And a wonderful woman from Karen Yarns, Carrie Clement, had gone to Rwanda, brought 50 knitting machines, contacted Karen to get the yarns over there, and trained individuals on how to work with these knitting machines. It wound up being one of the best experiences I could have had because it was a way to connect with Africa in a positive way and actually see how samples could be made.
So prior to that, you didn't have any personal connection with Rwanda or family there or anything like that?
No, it was another one of those beautiful gifts that came through just for the sake of asking. You know, just for the sake of researching and knowing that it could be possible. It came through.
So with your clothing line, what types of clothing do you carry?
Our focus, because we're working with Reclaim Fabrics, and these fabrics are diverse, so they may be beautiful interior design brocades, or they may be items from Auntie's basement that are exquisite vintage, you know, crepes. All the fabrics are different, and so we focus on back to basics. A-line skirts, jumpers, tunic dresses, you know, wrap blouses, items that are attractive on any shape and every figure, but in beautiful, beautiful fabrics. And for myself, I do a lot of the knitwear. My focus is the knitwear for plus sizes, so I've got really attractive shapes for women who are plus size. I think that's something that I think is lacking in the industry now.
So, okay, wait, so you do more than knit. It's all different type of fabrics and different types of...
You've got it. You've got it. My
okay.
husband does the tailoring, and
okay.
I do more the hand knit and the hand crochet.
Okay. So what is the size and price range of your clothing?
No problem. We go all the way up with general garments.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go all the way up to a 24, and then we do custom work for women who are larger.
Mm-hmm.
The items range from, let's say, $75 for a dress all the way up to $250 if it's a jacket or a coat. So we try to keep it very reasonable, like someone's getting something couture, but at a reasonable price.
Okay. So tell us about your nonprofit, Sue Rock Originals Everyone.
That was something that came out of a sad experience. I had an acquaintance. I think we all have that one friend that you wind up seeing when you're going to the newspaper. You know, you're going to do laundry, and the two of you catch each other, and you start talking, and many times you don't even know the person's name. You just start talking because it's so good. And I knew a woman like that, and before I knew it, you know, many months had passed, and I saw the notices in my hallway of her passing, only to find out when coming to give the family my condolences that she was a victim of domestic violence in her own home.
What?
And, and not only that, it was her husband that took her out, and he took himself out, too. And there were kids involved.
Aww.
And with that, I shared it with my husband, and he and I looked at each other, and we hadn't come to the decision as to what kind of nonprofit we'd do with all of these beautiful fabrics. So I said, look, if somebody has the courage to leave, and they're wearing jeans and a turtleneck and the flip-flops talking about, I'm going to the store, I got that. I can knock out a poncho in 3 hours, tops, large needle, great yarn, whatever. Everyone is wearing hand knits, beautiful handmade clothing right now. Fortunately, it's real contemporary. And, you know, you put a label on it, all of a sudden nobody's going through hard times. They look like they just stepped out of Barney's. So in a way to really empower folks to realize that even if you make the first step, there will be and always are hidden hands that can help you. But this is something very interesting, Chenese, that I hadn't realized would happen. Not only did the volunteers come through effortlessly, and the yarn companies come through effortlessly, but the donations kept coming. So now we're at a level where we can start training people in sewing, in needlepoint, in all of the textile arts that were lost. Grandmother, you mentioned yours, mine also. Many people listening, their great-grands made it through these difficult times with these wonderful skills. So now we're training. We have a permanent location in Brooklyn, and we're looking forward to taking it to its next level.
So what came first, the clothing line or the nonprofit?
Well, you know, the clothing line actually came first. And the generosity of so many people was so infectious, you know, it was so constant that the natural outgrowth was to do something to give back. Katrina was just happening then. Like, how could you not give back? And what did they say? You need food, clothing, and shelter, right? So we had the clothing piece down pat. You know what I'm saying? And I think both he and I were both crazy enough to see that there was a value in fabric. Even when everyone is still shopping, we still saw, well, sewn garments are needed. The understanding of how to sew a garment is needed. And that creativity is needed in the human spirit. And we just went with it. And so it's flipped the script. Now we can enjoy making garments, doing fashion shows, and have that be a fundraiser. We can enjoy having items in boutiques and not worry about so much of the hard business rigors, but enjoy sharing the beauty of the garments that we make.
So besides buying your clothing to help your nonprofit, what are other ways we can contribute or help you with the organization?
Well, Sue Rock Originals, everyone, is a 501c3. I want to make sure people know. So we're always in need of course, donations of time, finances, or actual materials. Many times people have folks who pass and they don't know what to do with Auntie's basement full of who knows what that she brilliantly made. We always accept those donations, and we're always interested in having volunteers stop by and share their time. So folks can reach us at SueRockOriginals@yahoo.com and just let us know if they have some time available or if they'd like to maybe sponsor an event, because we're looking forward to launching an event soon.
Okay. So when you're looking for donations for material, is it only material that hasn't been into something, or can you take old clothing and pull them apart and use that material?
Right now we're mostly working with raw materials.
Okay.
So this would be fabric, yarn, notions, sewing machines, and that kind of thing.
Okay. So how can someone apply to be a model for your clothing line, or are you even looking for models?
They can always apply to be models because we're always doing photography for new pieces. Our email is suerockoriginals@yahoo.com, and that's SUEORIGINALS@yahoo.com. They can also reach us at 347-365-8747, and we're all, on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we are on MySpace for folks to keep track of what's going on.
So, do you have anything coming up that we can be watching out for?
Absolutely. Folks need to know that we now have a permanent location. Believe it or not, everything that I was sharing with you was happening out of our 3-room apartment here in Brooklyn, New York, Chenese.
Wow.
So it was full of the fabric and the notions and the books and the sewing machines. So we have a permanent location in Brooklyn, New York. It's at 1069 Bergen Street between Nostrand and Rogers Avenue in an ever-changing Brooklyn. And they should come on by. We're looking to have a real launch soon coming into the summer.
Okay.
And it'll be a pleasure to have some folks in. If they would like some knitwear, looking at knitwear into the fall, please feel free to come by for a fitting.
Okay.
And let us know what their favorite colors are and pick out something wonderful for the fall. It's coming soon.
Oh, so you can, if somebody wants a certain color. I thought you couldn't do that because you don't know what type of material you will be getting.
Oh, maybe I didn't mention. We have a 10 by 10 storage space full of fabric.
Oh, okay.
These donations have been coming for the past 4 to 5 years. So we pretty much have every single type or combination of fabric one can ask for in quantity. So they just need to say what their favorite colors are, whether it's floral, stripes, or prints, and we can pretty much accommodate them. As a matter of fact, what's your favorite color, Miss Chenese Lewis?
Well, I'm kind of flashy. I think I like gold and sparkly.
I think we've got a lot of gold and sparkly. We'll work on the sizes later on offset, okay?
Okay.
Right on.
Sounds
That's what's
good.
up. That's what's up. That's how we flow at Sue Rock Originals. Okay, you all heard it here now. I have her hooked up in a gold jumpsuit. Is that what you...
I don't know if I can pull off a jumpsuit.
You're that's right, it's Los Angeles.
Yes.
So we have to have you looking Los Angeles fabulous, right?
Yes, maybe a little dress I can wear flip-flops with. That's what we do out here.
Okay, that's what's up. Maybe some wrap pants with a fabulous top, a sheer jacket. Yeah, I got you hooked up.
Yes. So before you go, tell us again your official website and how can we purchase your clothing online?
You can't as of yet, but just give a call, and we can send all the sizing sheets and the pricing sheets out to you. I have a few things on Etsy, but the best thing is to contact me in person and say, hey, girl, what you have for me? I need something next week, and we'll hook it up for you with no problem at all. The official website, you can catch me on Blogspot. It's www.suerock.blogspot.com. If any of those words were too much to handle, just check out Sue Rock on Facebook, and you'll be in track with everything that we're doing.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I had no idea when I first talked to you to get you on the show, I had no idea about the nonprofit organization. So that's like from beginning to end, everybody should want to support this.
It's about yes, we can, girl. It is about yes, we can. And what else is there to do? What else is there to do but something positive and progressive? And what do they say? Each one teach one? That's what's up.
That's wonderful.
I do want to let folks know very quickly, Sue Rock Originals on the first and third Fridays of every month is having a lingerie party. And what the lingerie party is going to include is custom lingerie pieces have come from a wonderful lingerie manufacturer, as I told you, Reclaim Fabric, in which we have exquisite stretch lace and lace, current custom designs, all available, 2 drinks, wonderful pricing, in which you will learn how to make your own custom lingerie.
Wait, so you can make lingerie out of reclaimed fabric?
Well, the reclaimed fabric has never been used. These are items that have not even been opened from their wrapper. They just decided, I'm not going to use this black lace for this design.
Right.
And so it's a full bolt.
Okay, because see,
so we're talking
I had in mind, I had in mind maybe like kind of patchwork, but it doesn't look like that. It's more
baby,
sophisticated.
This is flawless.
Oh, okay.
You got to check it out. Sue Rock on Facebook. But if folks are interested in seeing what we're about, first and third Fridays, they can come by and make their beautiful custom lingerie, like what they never have in our size in Victoria's Secrets or Natori. You can make it yourself and have 2 fabulous drinks to boot.
All right. Well, that sounds fabulous. Well, thanks so much for being on the show. I'll definitely support whatever you're doing because this is great. And I'm so excited to hear people doing positive things.
Shoot, I got to bring it out there to Los Angeles. Bring my little phone machines and get it moving. Hey.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Well, okay. Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you. And you have a wonderful night tonight. Excellent show, Chenese. Excellent show.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Greater LA Woman offers a fabulous selection of clothes in sizes 12 through 26. Discover stylish mix-and-match pieces that are perfect for casual, business, and holiday occasions. Find great designers like Citron, Tianello, Tadashi, and over 100 more. Located at 5345 East 2nd Street in Belmont Shore. Open 7 days a week. Call 562-930-0339 for hours and directions, or shop us on the internet at www.thegreaterlawoman.com. Save $10 on your first order by signing up for our mailing list online.
Well, our final guest of this evening is supposed to be Deborah Gregory, the author of the popular series, The Cheetah Girls, but it doesn't look like she's called in, so I'm not sure if she's going to make it in time. So we're going to just close the show and reschedule her at a different time. But if you noticed tonight was the first night that we had commercials on the show. So if you're interested in advertising on Plus Model Radio and getting your event or line or whatever out there, email us at guests@plusmodelmagazine.com to get the rates and availability. So tune in next time, and we'll have more Plus industry professionals with stories to not only inspire you, but to keep you connected. Interested in advertising on our show, being a guest, or have comments? Email us at guests@plusmodelmagazine.com. And if you haven't already, don't forget to join the Plus Model Radio pages on MySpace and Facebook. For more information about our show, go to our website at www.plusmodelmag.com. I've been your host this evening, Chenese Lewis. Thank you for tuning in and supporting Plus Model Radio. Until next time, keep thriving in your curves and be blessed.